Jeff, how'd the guys move around today, Wednesday?
Defense has been good 2 days in a row. Offensively, I didn't think we were real good yesterday, and I was right. We were just kind of lethargic. Really challenged them, and we had a good practice on both sides of the ball today. Special teams just continue to get better. So it was a good practice today.
I think you guys are listed as a 21-point underdogs this week. Does that mean anything to you guys?
No, not one bit. I mean, it's not mean like absolutely nothing.
Jeff, I think we're going to talk to Luke Lopez today. What have you seen from his development during his time here?
Just a steady kid that's finally stayed healthy. Got to put some days together. When he first got here, he got injured quite a bit. He was coming off an injury in high school, which is probably how we got him. And he's finally got some days put together. Played a good game Friday against Army, and proud of Luke. He's a really good kid. He's a program kind of guy. I mean, he just does what he's supposed to do. Makes really good grades. He's an easy person to coach. And really excited for Luke.
I know he'd seen some opportunities at guard his first couple of years here. What made him a good fit at center?
Well, we knew we were losing Maka in the spring, obviously, so we worked him a ton there. Just we had to have somebody in case we had some lineup shuffling, and he's going to be an interior player in his career. He'll be a guard in the center.
How did Ernesto respond to sliding from center out to tackle?
Played really well. He was one of our triangle toughest players of the week, and Ernesto plays well every time he goes out there. He'll be a real loss to our team when he graduates. He's a great leader. He's a great human. He's a fantastic football player.
Who would have thunk he might be the most valuable guy on your offensive line these last 2 years, right?
You think about what he did last year, and pretty much unrecruited out of a junior college in California. We didn't have to beat a lot of people on him. We were just getting here, if you remember, and we weren't recruiting at the level we are now. He's one of those COVID miracles. Probably, because of all that, he probably got lost in the shuffle. He's a really good football player, and we're very grateful to have him.
That said, are you close to having more depth at that tackle position, or what's the outlook with the help?
Payne's not far from being back. Ben Rios isn't far. Makai still got a long ways to go. But Buffalo got some encouraging news yesterday. He's getting closer, so we could get some depth back. At some point, I really hope y'all get to see our team that we envisioned when the season started. We just hadn't had a chance to do that yet. I know we said that all last year too, but I've told y'all a million times before, healthy teams don't win championships, tough ones do, and we've always just had kids that keep stepping up here, and we're doing it again now. I mean, Vinley played one of his very best games. Corey played a really good game to replace T. Haynes. We just didn't do enough to win the game, but we are getting better offensively.
Has Ernesto helped Luke settle into that center spot? What's that leadership dynamic like?
I would say more, yeah. Luke had to that was our biggest concern going to the games, that T. Haynes was going to be able to play or not. Because we thought T would be able to help Luke, and T couldn't play much. So it was basically Luke on his own in there, because Ernesto's too far away to communicate everything to him. But those guards and centers can really communicate with each other. So Luke just, he did that on his own.
Did he get that part right through the game? Were there any kind of freshman or new player mistakes that come in there?
The third down and one call, a pressure we'd already picked up once. We missed that one, but that was about it. He played really steady.
What does it say about Ernesto that he has that willingness to slide into different positions, and what kind of skills does it take for a guy to be able to?
High IQ, tremendous grit. Kid's a winner. Whoever hires him. I've got a business here in San Antonio. I'm looking for an intern. Whatever Ernesto does, I'd be hiring Ernesto.
Jeff, how's Trey Moore doing so far this week?
He's gotten better. He really wants to play. We'll see how he looks. He's progressed through the week. He really wants to play against Tennessee.
What about Clark? How's he looking?
His best day yesterday. He was pretty sore today, so we backed off of him a little bit today.
Coach, do you sense any extra excitement going to play an SEC team? And do you think playing in Austin last year helps your team kind of be prepared to go in a hostile environment?
It's just, and I know that, and probably it's all true. I'm not going to sit here and debate that. We don't pride ourselves on that stuff. We really just pride ourselves. We're not going to go over there and do a bunch of gadgets. We're going to do what we do. We're going over there to get better. We're trying to do the same things we're going to do versus Temple and UAB and Tulane and South Alabama, South Florida, UAB. Combine both schools there together, that'd be tough. And we really try to guard against that. I know that's not what y'all want to hear. It's a very boring answer. But our very first year, we went to BYU, and they were whatever they were ranked, and we went over there with our plan. We ran our stuff, and the next year Illinois, and the next year Texas, and now this year Tennessee. Now, this team's different than all those teams there. They're different. They've got as much NFL talent we've ever played since we've been here together. So we know what we're going against. I guess I'm just trying to let you know we're not going over there to run a bunch of gadgets and stuff. We're going over there to play football.
Jeff, I think UTSA is 0-12 all-time against ranked teams. I know you guys are talking about winning and losing, but what would a win do for this program?
It'd make us 2-2.
Jeff, I saw Chris Carpenter was off the depth chart this week. Is there an injury situation there, or what's his status going forward?
Yeah, he got injured on the slant and go on the 3rd and 7, no call. And we'll see. It's day to day. His ankle's pretty tender. Good news, it's not going to be something that's a long time, but bad news is we don't know exactly when he's going to be back.
Seems like you've gotten your share of bad breaks on some officiating calls. You mentioned no call on the pass interference. Just, you think some of that's just bad luck early in the season, or?
You just have to be better than that. There's always been bad calls in every game. They're humans. They're doing the very best they can. Obviously, the 1-yard deal against Houston's a big call. You got to be better than that. Like, they're not the reason we didn't score more to begin with, and we wouldn't have been in that situation. The next week there's a couple, that we were good enough to overcome that. So we all kind of forget those. It's the ones you lose, you never forget. But as long as I've been doing this, there's 3 things that always stand true. Control what you can control. You can't control the weather. You can't control the opponents. You can't control the officials. You got to be better than the weather. You got to be better than the opponent. And you got to be better than the officials if you're going to be a championship program.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.